example is kind of what I just mentioned, updating that last contact date field. We want to be able to easily identify on, filter, and report on the last time a contact or lead, essentially a person within Sugar, was contacted. So this would match up with the last time a phone call, meeting, task, or email was logged against that person. So what we're going to have to do today, obviously we're going to need that custom date field on the contact and lead modules to track that last contacted date. And we're going to update that with advanced workflows. So the design for our workflow is going to be, it's going to start when a call, meeting, or task is completed or an email is created. And then we want to perform an action of updating the parent contact or lead last contacted date field. Pre-work I've already done. I created the contact last contacted date field. So let's go ahead and share my screen and take a look at that. Okay, everyone should be seeing SugarCRM now. You can see here I'm looking at the contact Justin Kielthau. I have a last contacted date field just below that with August 21st. And then down below in the subpanels, you'll see I have a meeting here. Test workflow with multiple contacts is held. And it's a start date of August 21st, or yesterday. So when I created this, it automatically updated that field. If I jump over to process definitions, you can see here I have a process definition called update lead last follow-up date on meeting completion. Now I'm going to create a couple of new advanced workflows and one legacy workflow today to show you how all of this works. The first one we're going to create is the simplest, create a new task. When a task is completed, we want to update that field. So first I want to show that screen here. If I come back into my contact and click the little plus sign on my task subpanel, you'll notice you create your tasks with a name, and then they're related to the account, TechADV, and the contact, Justin Kielthau. So we need to traverse this person here and update the field when the task is completed. And we want to track when it's completed based on the completed status. All right. I'm going to go ahead and create a brand new process definition in here. I'm going to give it a name, update parent last contact date on task completion. Our target module is that task module, since that's what we want to monitor for changes. I'm going to leave it disabled. We don't want to enable it until we're done editing it, so I will click Save and Design. And again, we dove into what all of these different icons up here mean in our last meeting, so if you need a refresher on that, view that previous recording. But I want to start with a start event, so I just drag this onto the page here. I'm going to name it New Completed Task Created. Then I right-click on it and go to Settings. Come down here, you can see I have Module Tasks is already selected. This is going to apply to new records only. And my criteria is, again, I'm going to click the Evaluations button down here, Module Field Evaluation. Find my field status is equal to completed. I'm going to click Add, and that adds it to the criteria. You can add really complex criteria up here with the ands, ors, nots, and the parentheses, but we're just doing something simple today. And I can save that. And that's all well and good, but that is only going to accommodate when a new task is created and it's completed. More often than not, tasks are inserted into Sugar with a due date in the future as a reminder, and then down the line you would complete it, and that's considered an update not new. So I need to drag down here another start event that would say task updated to completed. And I can type anything I want in here, even having typos in there. It's not going to affect the advanced workflow. Again, I'm going to right click and go to settings, find my applies to, and here I want to monitor updated records only and the first update, not all updates. And it mentions see the help text here, and that's kind of important. You just kind of hover over this and it'll tell you the difference between those. I only want this workflow to fire the first time the task is completed. If someone for some reason is editing a task 6 times, I don't want it to fire all 6 times after it's been completed. My criteria then is the same. Evaluations, module field evaluations, find my status field is equal to completed. Add that, and then I can save it. Now I need to come up here and find my action because we're going to do an update. So I'm going to update parent lead. Right click on this. My action type is going to be to change a field. I right click again, then I can go to settings. And I'm looking for that. Well, first I have to select the module, and you can see here it starts on the tasks module, and these are all of the modules that are related. In my case, I know I want this leads module. And then I can come down and find my last contact date. Click the checkbox, click in the field, and I can choose, I'm just going to, for now, just put the runtime in there. So whenever this runs, it will, whenever the task is completed, it will update that date. I can come down here. Now this, I should note, only updates the parent lead. I can actually add another action here to update the parent contact. So a task at any given time can only be related to one lead or one contact. So that's why I need 2 actions to traverse both of those relationships. And I can then come down and just do contacts. And come down, find my last contact date, runtime, save that. And then I have to actually add an order to these guys so that they will actually run. And then I can drag this one to here. And then, of course, I always need an end sequence, which is here. And now I have no more element errors. I can click the Save button, exit this, edit here, enabled, and save that. So now I have this enabled process definition. If I come back to my person here, Justin Kielthow, and I add a new task, let's do test advanced workflow. Status is completed, and save that. It should update this to 822, which it did. Okay. Now, I also mentioned we want to do this for calls and emails. Doing it for emails is the same, but doing it for calls is a little bit different. If I come in here and click Log Calls on a contact, you'll notice it's putting that person or multiple people down here in the Guests section. I can add as many contacts as I want in here. And you, unfortunately, cannot traverse this many-to-many relationship with an advanced workflow. So to traverse that relationship, we'd actually have to come into our legacy workflow engine to get across that many-to-many. Now, I know we're supposed to be talking about advanced workflows, but you really can't talk about advanced workflows out talking about legacy workflows, simply because sometimes there's things you can't do. So let's go ahead and just very quickly create a new workflow definition to update parent content when call held is the right term. We'll do calls here. We want new and updated record. That's all fine. Click Save. And then we want our status to be when a field in the target module, we want our condition to be when the status changes to a specific value. And then I can specify that value here is going to be held. And what action do we want to take place? Well, we don't want to send any alerts, but we do want to actually update the field in a related module. So I have to click this hyperlink here, and we're going to go to Contacts, save that, click Next. And then we find that last contacted date. We can do it 0 hours from the triggered date, just like the other one. Save. And now this should work. So if I come in over here, let's find a new lead. Insert my call. Test legacy workflow is held. And now our last contacted date is 8/22. And you'd have to do the same thing, same exact thing, to traverse that same lead relationship when leads are in the guest area as well.